my Vinewood Club garage, and I'm just checking vehicles to determine whether they're clean or scratched. So I figured I'd bring you along so you can check them with me. It requires a lot of focus, and basically if I find a scratched vehicle, I destroy it. And either I will restore it later by merging another vehicle on top of it, or I might just purchase another vehicle on top of it. So what I mean by on top of it is in my garages, it'll show up as destroyed. And so therefore, if I buy a new vehicle at a car buy and sell meet, then I know that all the destroyed vehicles are actually available spots. They're scratched vehicles. I think a lot of people do this when they have a lot of modded vehicles. So that one had limo tint on the windows. I didn't have to look further to know that it was scratched. So we're checking the smoke, the horn, the select if it's got unselected colors for wheels, and primary and secondary colors. I don't know what the smoke looks like. Well, I think it's the Patriot smoke, which is what we want, the 3-color smoke. And that means that it's clean. Now the Patriot smoke I can always update, but I just want the cars to be clean, checked thoroughly as much as humanly possible, so that I have less chances of transferring a scratch vehicle onto the next merge. Because sometimes you just really love the way the vehicle looks. You start merging that on top of other vehicles. You got 4 vehicles that you don't realize have the wrong Patriot smoke. Unselected window, selected wheel color. At this point I can do it fast, but I still need to focus, so I might not be talking as much. From now on, if I don't know if it's got the Patriot smoke, I will put crew smoke, which is modded black. So if you update your crew color to modded black, it'll actually give you Patriot smoke. I couldn't tell if it had the smoke, so I might as well just add it. Sometimes you can tell when you go in there. So I've done half of this row. I still have 3 more levels to check for 20 vehicles each. So I'm trying to stay focused but do this as quickly as possible at the same time. The trim I don't care. I still check, but I don't care. And I also have to check the plate as well, because sometimes get undone with the plates. I didn't see the smoke, so just adding crew. And because I couldn't merge, I'm doing this. So it's a great way to use the time you have when you're unable to merge to get organized. If you're dealing with a lot of modded vehicles, you just gotta constantly stay as organized as possible. I saw the little red there, so I'm pretty sure that this one has the right smoke, so I'm not gonna add it. Now what I'm looking here is that there's nothing selected. So as long as you can see the value, the amount shown, that means nothing's selected. If it doesn't allow you to select it, it means it's not selected. And unselected means that it's clean. Now again, the trim color, I don't care. Some people might, I don't. That's where I draw the line. Now these cars, it doesn't mean I'm going to keep them as they are, but they might get modified, but at least I don't have to change the color, or I can use the color on a different vehicle, and then knowing that they're all clean. Sometimes there's like a puff of red smoke. That's why I know it's got the Patriot smoke, and in this case I won't be able to tell, so I'll, oh, there you go. Yeah, it's got it. Wheel color. And you always have to check both. And even the trim color I would recommend to check. Just, it's nice to know sometimes, like, you'll remember that they have unselected trim. You know, they might stand out. You might remember. Oh, like for example, I know Vinewood Garage Level 2 has a lot of cars with unselected trim. If ever that becomes a thing, I know where to go. The Vagrant, I don't care because it's used as a donor or as a working vehicle to apply liveries. Now for bikes, yes, you can verify the tires are selected or unselected. It's really up to you. I didn't check tire smoke, so I'm gonna add it. But I just care about the wheel color. But it should follow the same rules as like Benny's and F1s, but I don't care what wheels they have. I've never been part of a motorcycle crew, and anybody I've met, they were just happy that they had unselected color wheels. I never had somebody tell me that a motorcycle was scratched because it had the wrong wheels on it, which is a good to know. And check the plate. Nice. This is Sanctus, $2 million bike. Hell of expensive. Okay, so I've done all of these. I'm gonna go to level 3. All right, so check them however you want, whatever you think is going to be the fastest way, but it's 20 per level. Sorry about the echo. Now, although I love this color, unselected wheel are genuinely the most difficult thing to transfer over. So if I replicate this vehicle, I'm going to replicate the vehicle by taking inspiration, going on YouTube, taking inspiration of the color, merging a fully clean vehicle onto my Tornado Custom, which is my Benny's wheels car. Applying the same wheels but with an unselected wheel color, because trying to save the wheel color, that's the only way I've found so far, is like to basically rebuild the whole vehicle. As soon as I see a wheel color that's unselected, it's very rare that like I just won't try to save it. This car I might, because it is a like Barbie inspired car. Apparently there's a way through the magic slot and the casino and the arena to somehow save the wheel color, or transfer a wheel color from a vehicle that is clean to a scratch vehicle, but I've tried it, never worked for me. Okay, so now I'm going through the things that I care about. Again, sometimes because I get distracted, so I double, triple, quadruple check. There we go. So if you see me destroy it, it's scratch. If you see me move on to the next, it's clean. This one I won't check because it's got the teddy bear. This is the Bodhi with the teddy bear. And it's a special one because you can only get it to gift cards to friends glitch. So I have no interest in whether it's clean or not, simply because it is a very rare vehicle no matter what. So even if it was scratch, I wouldn't do anything at all to try to save it. I love it the way it is now, and a lot of people have this vehicle without the teddy bear. Tesseract. Now, if it's unselected, I leave it unselected like 99.99% of the time. If it is selected, then I just put in whichever one I prefer. Again, interior trim color is not something I worry about. Wonderful. I care about the wheel color, care about the primary and secondary paint, and nothing selected. Care about the Patriot smoke, 3 colors, and I care about the horn. Now we usually get on stock for these kind of color, like these beautiful pinkish colors, like there's some sort of pearlescent somewhere in there. But now we got, looks like this one's very clean. It's Halloween. Don't forget to update the horn whenever it's not selected properly, because it's tomorrow or next week it's no longer going to be available. So get it while you can today. Now I really hope this paint is unselected because I really like it. But a lot of times it's suspicious to say the least. I'm gonna go straight for respray. Not even gonna check the wheels first. Plus it's already got the, I can already tell it's got Patriot. Come on, don't disappoint me. There we go. That was a classic. It was white classic, which is interesting because it didn't seem to, and metallic white doesn't seem to really do much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to crew. Hasn't really changed the color at all. And then we're going to see, recheck it again to see if we have cleaned it up. Yes, nothing's selected. So it's been cleaned up. I like the interior cars to be white, especially with dark exterior colors, so I'm gonna change it. Awesome. Oh, selected windows, but that's fine. We can fix that. And I like this color so much, I might actually fix that right now. Right now. So level 3, 305. I'm gonna do it the lazy way too. No, I won't get lazy. I'll do gift card to friends glitch. And I'm gonna check if there's a secret livery while I'm at it. It's a coquette. Coquette D1. Is it a coquette D1? No, that's not a coquette D1. There's no hidden livery on this one. So right now I'm teleporting. So I'm going to transfer this gift cards to friends glitch. And then I'm going to buy it alongside another vehicle. This is gonna one part of the process is actually gonna have me leave the session, so I'll have to come back. But I'm basically gonna show how to do the how to use the magic slot. So this, I'm gonna do gift cards to friends glitch, and then I'm gonna do magic slot conversion to clean up the window of this vehicle. I always invite the other player inside of my vehicle warehouse, and then I have them leave or I kick them out immediately so that they call their mobile operations center, MOC. And I have it on the other screen so I can see where it's going to spawn. It's going to spawn at the arena. So then I go and teleport. So I've been doing a lot of merging, trying to really clean up all of my garages as soon as possible. So I might sound tired and low energy. I'm trying to increase the energy level of my broadcast, of my like live streams. So bear with me as I get better at communicating and expressing more energy. I sometimes find that maybe I don't seem like I'm enjoying myself as much as I am, because I truly do enjoy this. This is a lot of fun for me, and I really do hope to get an audience that's going to want to receive the vehicles that I'm making, and then they'll be, you'll know you have a perfectly clean vehicle, unless you want the trim color to be clean as well, but I'll leave that one up to you. But yeah, the incredibly clean modded vehicles, verified, checked meticulously, and become a reputable person to buy cars from, or to receive cars through gift cards to friends glitch like I'm doing right now. Okay, so once they've requested their MOC, I go and get it. Now in their MOC they have a donor vehicle meaning a vehicle that they're happy to part with. If they don't have a donor vehicle, that's perfectly fine. You just grab a vehicle off the street. So I just stole this vehicle. And I add it. That's not to say if it didn't have a vehicle. Maybe I should have verified that there wasn't any through service managed vehicles. Service vehicle, sorry. MOC request personal vehicle. Should have done that. But it doesn't matter. At this point, it's too late. The vehicle that could have potentially been in the MLC is now gone. Doesn't exist anymore. So this is a donor vehicle. Um, when you start to have a lot of modded cars, you know, your donor vehicle end up being modded cars. When you start off at the beginning, what I would recommend is once you receive the modded vehicle you want, you go ahead and you store it, you save it, go put it in the garage that you want it in, and then you go and get an NPC vehicle as a donor vehicle. If you have a vehicle that's way too hard to clean, that you don't want to sell and you don't want to clean, then use that as your donor vehicle. It's a good way to get rid of it. But a thing that I would advise is to actually grow your garage slowly. I did it too fast. I ended up spending a lot of time cleaning up and redoing a lot of things over and over again, and it cost a fortune. Yes, this is a modded account, but not everybody has that privilege, having a modded account and having 2 consoles. So take your time, build your garage slowly, verify that your vehicles are fully clean. Don't buy too many vehicles at once. Have fun doing it. Everyone finds their own fun in GTA. But I find that sometimes I rush to do things too much, and then I end up doing things that are not fun, like cleaning up garages for hours and hours and hours and days on end. Because the fun part I want is to have clean cars. To me, that's fun. What's not fun is having to check cars that I've already bought. Alright, so now I request my MOC. Not really going through every step, sorry. Basically what's happened is after we got the van stored inside the MOC, both characters got into the van. The person who's going to give the car goes into the pause menu. So like that's the map. You just, the first button, the little button you press to get to the map is your pause menu. The reason it says pause menu is because when you're not in the map, when somebody's looking at you, you're paused. It says pause. And in that pause menu, the person driving the van goes towards the entrance of the van, like the blue circle, and presses right D-pad to get into the van. And then it's going to kick out the person that's in the pause menu. And then after that, you put the donor vehicle like somewhere. You put it away, like where it is right now, the van. And then once you do that, the person who's giving the vehicle then registers as CEO, invites the other person to the CEO. They both get into the special vehicle from the warehouse. I'm going to do this a few times, so don't worry about following. So you both get into the vehicle, special vehicle to get into the warehouse. You do similar to the MOC, but instead of the pause menu, the driver who's giving the car, they go ahead and open up their blue interaction menu. And when they hit the garage door, you don't have to do it fast or anything. Then the other player has to open up their blue interaction menu. Once the other player opens up their blue interaction menu, the driver, the giver of vehicle, then closes their blue interaction menu. The other player keeps theirs open, so the person who's driving ends up going into the vehicle warehouse. The person who's not driving and who's receiving the vehicle ends up staying outside of the door of the vehicle warehouse. From there, the person receiving the vehicle requests their MOC, tells the other player where it is, and then the other player goes ahead and gets it. I teleport a lot so that it makes it a lot faster. And then when they come back, the person who's receiving the vehicle goes ahead and gets in front of, behind the MOC, and the person who's giving the vehicle hides behind the MOC, R1. Once the person's hiding and they're both kind of facing each other, the person receiving the MOC, the vehicle will then, that person will then, the person receiving the vehicle will then press down on the D-pad, joystick up or sideways to go to story mode, to join story mode, but they don't accept the story mode. They actually decline, so circle. They do that 3 times, and then they enter the blue circle, enter alone. And it's at that point that, when they enter alone, it's at that point that the that they get glitched out. There's a blank screen, and then the person giving the car has to drive over here to deposit, where I am right now, to deposit the vehicle. And you can be right there, like I could be on top of the car. And then the person who's receiving the vehicle will have to go back to the Franklin story mode and quit, like I mentioned earlier. And they'll do that a few times, sometimes just once, but basically they need to get to that screen where it says, do you want to quit story mode? Do you want to accept story mode? Yes, or quit. They select to quit, which means they don't actually go into story mode. And then they end up kind of weirdly glitched, like it looks like they're in an out-of-body experience. It'll make sense when I'm doing it from the other side. Looks like they're having an out-of-body experience. And then they get into the car. And then once they're in the car, what they'll see is that the donor vehicle that they had is no longer no longer exist, and then the vehicle that was left over there at the spot is actually in their MOC, and it's theirs now. So for the next part of my trick, which is to clean up the window, is to go to LS car meet. So go together. Actually, usually I teleport or whatever, but I'll drive with the other character this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drive over to LS Customs to sell the other, what car is this? Inverted Coquette. I'm going to sell the other one because I'm going to buy it back from this character, and then I'm going to use my magic slot and buy it again. So if I have too many duplicates, I don't know which one's clean. So I need to get rid of the ones that scratched at this point, knowing that I'll get it back. It's a bit of a complicated process, the magic slot. So basically what it does is it allows you to transfer over features from one vehicle to another, and those features include the window, the interior, trim color, and the plate. It doesn't transfer over the unselected wheel color and the unselected or the unselected wheel. Unselected color, the primary and secondary. That's like roughly, it's very roughly what I'm trying to get at. Oh, there's my car. Jeez, how did I end up there? So now I'm selling this one because I'm actually going to be potentially buying two of them, but all in the same spot. And this is the dirty one, or the scratch one, and I don't want it. I don't want the scratch one. So destroying it obviously is one way to get rid of it, because I would merge on top of it, but I find it easier if I can sell it. It's just a little bit more organized. Alright, so now we're going to the LS car meet. Now, at some point the whole the whole stream's gonna end up crashing because I have to lag my internet and it's gonna disconnect the network. It's quite an incredible process when you think about it. All the things that go into it. Now, some people may have heard about this netcut business and most people wouldn't. So the first thing I do here is I buy this vehicle that I want to clean up and I put it on top of my magic slot. Now, magic slot is a whole different process, but just know that that's where you have to purchase it on top of. Now, the friend or other character has basically sold you a scratched vehicle. So now they need to request a vehicle that they know is clean. Because of the color of the paint, I'm gonna get a panic plate, a vehicle with a panic plate, which I just did the other day, and it's not that one. Unless you have two accounts that have billions of dollars, I would never recommend anyone to go about buying back and forth instead of give cars to friends glitch, because it'll cost you a fortune. Now I'm looking for a known vehicle with a it's the Weevil Custom. That's the one I'm looking for. Weevil Custom. I'd recently done one. One with the panic plates because of the colors. Oh, I hope this is the one. Certainly hope it's not the one that was already in the vehicle, which I don't think it was, to be fair. I know it's the Weevil Custom because it's a Benny's vehicle, but that's as far as... the problem with not being organized. Or thinking that, you know, I'll just give one gift cards to friend. I won't do both. Because I know that I have it, but then I have to look everywhere for it. Like I haven't saved myself any time by doing it this way. Potentially it's the... Oh no, I didn't use... Like I'm really lost myself in my process. It's good to see though. It's good to see because now all I need is the interior panic plate. So as long as this car is clean, I genuinely don't need anything else than the plate and that this is a clean vehicle. Because the paint color is not going to transfer over. Maybe a little bit of the orange, but that'd be interesting. The wheel color doesn't transfer over. I don't know. I'm taking a look at that. So it's really the window, and then the plate is a panic plate. So yeah, this is the one. So what happens from here is basically I put the two vehicles side by side. The one that's in my magic spot and the one that's the clean vehicle that I want to transfer the clean elements over. I know it's a bit confusing, but basically to keep it as simple as possible, and I visually represent it even to myself to try to stay organized, is I am going to take the clean window This is it. There's some interesting aspects to this. So I'm going to take the clean window, the interior color, which is very similar, the wheel number, so in this case we have both of them are pies, and the plate from the Tornado, and it's going to go over to this vehicle. And it's going to happen without changing the the exterior paint or the wheel color. Okay, and the way to do this is you buy the clean vehicle and you're going to put it on top of your magic spot. As you do that, you're going to use netcut. I'm not going to go into netcut. And you're going to drag your console over to the left, get up until a minute 20-ish. But I don't brush it. I go to